The Joe Rogan Experience.
Were you stunned by the reality? Let's bring it
Yes.
back to the original thing that you did, your original offense to the cult.
Yes.
Where they came for you.
My original offense was, I think, sharing a piece by a feminist named Heather Brunskill Evans that said exactly what you said just at the beginning, a few minutes ago, where you said, yeah, people have things going on in their head. They need to be respected and they need to be helped. And then someone wrote back immediately. I was actually getting surgery for cancer at the time, and someone wrote back and said, "I wish the cancer had won." Right?
Jesus.
And this was like sharing a very, very mild piece that just basically said women deserve rights. Okay, so that reaction, I thought, holy cow, and then, but the strangest thing was all my friends and colleagues. They just completely ignored what was happening to me. Not a single person stood up to say, "Hey, I know Graham Linehan, he's not a bigot." And I'd made lots of these people famous, Not a single person stood up for me. And the next thing that happened was that a sex offender, we found this out later, but a sex offender and kind of serial litigant in the UK, he reported me to the police, sued me on the same weekend, and the police came to my home, they phoned me that time, and since then I've been basically, the police just visit every so often on the orders of these, and this guy was he sexually assaulted a 14-year-old boy, and basically the police in the UK are working for these men, So
he can complain anytime he wants and they just visit you?
Yeah.
And there's no repercussions?
No, not so far. He's been doing it for 8 years. And he's had women in prison cells overnight, I mean, it's his hobby, So this guy was the guy who reported me to police. And then The Guardian reported that as Graham Linehan is warned by police for harassing a trans woman.
Jesus Christ.
So now everybody is looking at this and they're thinking, oh, a trans woman, transsexual, poor transsexual. Not a trans, again, just a bloke who's put on a dress and is taking the piss, So so that destroyed my name, thanks to The Guardian. And then after that, I couldn't get anyone to speak to me. Father Ted might be big in the UK, but in Ireland, it's a bit of a national institution. It allowed the Irish to laugh at the Catholic Church, which for years had a sort of oppressive effect over the Irish, so they weren't able to laugh at it. And suddenly Father Ted came out, and it was a great kind of release to be able to laugh at silly things. We weren't really attacking the church; we were just making silly jokes. Very surreal show, but nonetheless, it kind of chipped away at the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church just kind of lost a lot of power in Ireland. So I thought in Ireland I would be at least understood and listened out. People would listen me out. Is that the phrase?
Yeah, hear me out.
Hear me out. And no, there's a show in Ireland called The Late Late Show, and I brought out my biography a few years ago. Called Tough Crowd, which I should plug, and The Late Late Show, which interviews every single person who's got the letter O apostrophe in their name, hasn't interviewed me, and all of the Irish media has just pretend I've died. They just pretend I've died.
All because of the Guardian article.
Not just because of that, because I just I refused to back down. They were saying, I was constantly being told to apologise, and I hadn't done anything. I would have people online would do fake screenshots of me apologising for sending my pictures of my genitalia to women on a forum.
Jesus.
And they spread that, and rather than my friends standing up for me, people would approach them on Twitter and say, "Why are you following Graham Linehan? He's a bigot." And they would just go, "Oh, sorry," and just unfollow me. And so I lost 400,000 followers in a few months. And then we went into COVID, and Twitter banned me for 2 years. So then that became Graham Linehan.
Did you was there a specific post, or was it just because your reputation?
It was a combination of things. I was causing more trouble for them by I don't know. What did I do? I went on to the website. This connects me with Alex Jones. Do you know this?
No.
Did Adam not send you this?
No.
Oh my God. So one of the things I did was I went on an app called Her Social, which is a lesbian app. And I did it to show that men were joining these apps, and they would, some of them would put on a bit of lipstick, but most of them they would look like you or me,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And they go onto this app and they say they put down their pronouns as she, her.
Oh boy.
And they call themselves lesbians. And if a lesbian complains about this, they're booted off the site. Okay? So I decided I would go on and call myself she, her and go on the site. So I did it. And then I had some friends who put me in Photoshop and did me in different outfits. In one of them, I looked like my mother in the 60s. She's wearing kind of Jackie Kennedy pink beret. And Alex Jones was interested in the same story. And I think I sent the link to you, Jamie, but oh yeah, here it is.
Alex Jones finding Linehan lesbian app.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not usually for transvestites and stuff. But this one here, this is oh, and you see the symbol they've got here. You know what that symbol is right there? Yeah. These symbols all mean something.
What does that symbol mean?
I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Fucking Alex.
Yeah, so I fooled Alex. But
but the thing is, that's not outside of what you could find on there.
No, absolutely.
That's what's crazy.
But
It's
I was re-cancelled because of it. Because they only reported about me. They said Graham Linehan went on a lesbian app.
Oh,
pretending to be a woman.
So then you're a pervert.
Yeah. So and of course,
you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, and none of my arguments are making it to the mainstream press because.
Oh God, I wish I knew about this earlier.
I wish I'd sent you my book earlier.
The scandal never made it to the States except for Adam telling me.
My scandal.
Yeah, I mean the comedy community in the States.
Yeah.
We didn't hear about it. There's too many of them. And then the thing was with J.K. Rowling, that was so big that they went for the Queen.
Yeah.
They're trying to take down literally the most successful author of human history.
Yeah.
Hasn't she sold more copies than the Bible at this point?
Exactly.
Is that accurate?
I don't know. Probably.
I think the Harry Potter books have sold more or are at least similar to the sales of the Bible. She just wrote it in her lifetime.
Yeah.
Bible's been around for 2,000 years. 2,000 years head start.
Yeah. And
and they went for her, and
they went for her. And there's seven. I mean, when you think about it, there's 7 or 8 generations of kids have read these books.
Best-selling series in history. So Harry Potter series alone is exceeding 600 million copies sold worldwide.
Yeah, it's crazy. And and the kids who read her books are the ones trying to cancel her. The kids who read her books aren't taking on board any of the lessons of the books. It's very strange.
Well, it's hard to be courageous. It's hard to step outside of the narrative, and when there's a very forceful narrative that's being pushed, like what Elon likes to call the woke mind virus, whatever that thing is that has these very clear rules that you must follow. People get real scared.
Yeah.
And they get real aggressive when they get real scared. They don't want to get canceled themselves. So they become some sort of an enforcer for these ideologies.
Yeah.
And it gets contagious, and it turns into some sort of a weird culture war that's akin to a religious war.
They call it the other side call it a culture war to try and make it only that, right? You know, they talk about it as a culture war to try and kind of keep it under in a framework they understand.
Yeah.
But it's not a culture war, really. It's it's women's lives. You know, you're talking about 51% of the population. You know, they fought for these rights 100 years ago, and now they're trying to take them away by stealth. There's a nurse in the UK at the moment. Her name is Sandy Peggy. And she had a doctor, 6'2", rugby-playing doctor, who had started identifying as a woman, I think in 2022, right? Using the women's toilets in an NHS hospital every time. She was bothered by this, but she tried not to say anything, okay? Until finally she had her period, and she went in, and he was there, and he asked her to leave. She's now going through the whatever week tribunal.
Wait, he asked her to leave?
No, sorry, I put that wrong. She asked him to leave.
Oh, I see.
And he refused. He took it up as a complaint, and now she's going through a work tribunal. Not him. He's not in trouble for going into women's toilets. She's in trouble. And that's the whole of the UK at the moment.
How did this happen? Let's you're an intelligent guy and you've had 8 years to think about this.
Yeah.
What do you think happened where people lost all ability to objectively analyze all the various little things that are at work in this?
It's partly a problem with the internet, I think. I think it's first of all, the internet spread it. One of the things that happened was there was a real supercharged moment for trans ideology when Tumblr banned porn. Because all the trans-identified kids who were all over Tumblr, and porn was a big thing on Tumblr.
I don't remember Tumblr.
Yeah, it was a big kind of visual site.
I never used it. Did you ever use Tumblr?
Didn't use it, but I know what he's talking about. Yeah, it was big for generation.
Was it a
kids.
social media thing?
Yeah, it was big amongst
Right.
teenage girls, of course.
Okay.
You know, so you've already got a worry there, you know.
Oh, now I remember it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they all came over to Twitter, and that's the moment when Twitter became extremely toxic in terms of talking about this issue. And so there was a kind of a double thing going on. Like, I remember when I was talking to people I knew about the issue, they simply couldn't talk about it. It was the strangest thing.
They get scared.
I know, but even in personal one-on-one, they can't talk about it.
Well, it's religion, but it's showing itself in a new form.
Yes.
It's religion for secular people.
It's a religion.
It's a religion that's terrifying because, like, the consequences of not obeying are you get ostracized and you get attacked and you get deplatformed and debanked and
Yeah.
de this and de that and
I-
labeled a bigot.
I had a West End musical ready to go based on Father Ted. It was like, you can't really ever guarantee a hit in terms of musicals, but it was the closest thing to a guaranteed hit you could get. It was my pension. I'd worked on it for about 3 or 4 years. They cancelled it. We had it up on We had it up on its feet. We had songs written. We'd even performed it in front of audiences a couple of times just to generate excitement and interest. It was ready to go.
So how did so many people go along with it where you can't... how is it that you can make this reasonable argument on this podcast about why you think this is the case and what you think is going on, and this is why you stood up against it? And why can't there be some sort of a logical debate about this? Like, how is this one issue so insanely third rail where you can't even touch it? Like, where people don't even try to touch it.
There's a few reasons for that. One of the main reasons is that the language of this movement is so deliberately obscure. Like, they did a poll recently. They found out that when people were talking about trans women in women's sports, a lot of people, I think the majority of people, I'm not sure what the percentages were, but the majority of people thought they were talking about trans-identified females in women's sports.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And in fact, even now, when you say trans women, some people are thinking trans men. You know, and I have to sometimes tell people the way to do it is think trans means opposite. So if it's trans man, it's a woman. If it's a trans woman, it's a man. That's all it means. It just means opposite. And so this language, which is constantly being used, if you see a press report about this happens all the time. You see a press report that says something like, I saw a great one that said something like, woman takes cocaine and then kills Alsatian or something like this. And it's only that we know, it's only that me and the feminists who are fighting this know that it's a man that tell me it's a man. Every other person reading that newspaper thinks they're talking about a woman.
It happens all the time. It's happened here.
Yeah.
It's happened here when a trans person has done something. They call it a she,
Yeah.
but it's a man that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's
the press. It's the press are. Really, when you say why isn't it possible to be talked about, it's because the press are helping confuse people. You know, the press are actually aiding. Like, if you get a paedophile and you report him to be a woman, when he's actually a man, then it's even harder to step back and go, we shouldn't have done that, because you've actually already committed a terrible sin against journalism.
right.
You know, you're not telling the truth.
You're not being accurate. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it's just so strange that this is so potent that it allows people to give up their journalistic integrity.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. But some of them don't even have any in the first place. A lot of, like, one of the things that happened when I was started talking about this is I started noticing, like, there was a magazine in England called Total Film, and that was calling me a bigot. And all these different, and my old magazines that I worked for were calling me a bigot. And then you see photographs of the guys, and it's always, they've always got black fingernail polish, and they think they're a new kind of human,